Here we are in the cockpit. I got a flashlight because it's pretty dark in here this morning at 6:30 in the morning. But we're going to need to get the battery turned on here so we have some power for our Boeing 787. And it's pretty much the same startup as the 747 because they're pretty much close to the same plane. Little differences here though, so we're going to contact ground services here with the Cape Town Ground 121, and we're going to go ahead and get our baggage service going, I think, first.
Cape Town Ground Boeing Alpha Sierra X-Ray 787, could you please send the baggage? Boeing Alpha Sierra X-Ray 787 baggage is on the way.
All right, there we go. And we get our power supply as well. And we'll also connect the jetway. You can see the power truck is here and baggage.
Boeing Alpha Sierra X-Ray 787, could you please connect the jetway to the aircraft?
Baggage is arriving here. And we got the jetway connecting.
Boeing Alpha Sierra X-Ray 787, the jetway is going to be connected.
So we got our passengers getting onto the plane so they can make their trip to Spain. And got our luggage being loaded in. We got a power truck. And we're also going to get our catering truck, which actually in this plane, it's in the rear. So the catering is brought up in the rear, as you would say. Enter in the rear. Some businesses have those signs, which kind of makes me laugh sometimes. I know I got a weird sense of humor. But on the 747, the catering truck is up front. On this 787, it's in the back side and the rear. And then got our luggage being loaded in kind of the same area. Power truck powering us up, just so that way we're not using our batteries since we're waiting to, you know, get out of here and whatnot. And we got our passengers loading up as well. This is definitely a lot of fun to do these full flights and the whole deal. It's almost like really actually transporting passengers. I am enjoying this game so far, and I'll have to look into like new skins for the planes and stuff like that. I haven't even bothered to look into that kind of stuff yet, so that's definitely what I should check into. And I'm probably going to do a few wing shots on this flight as well, since I do have those angles we can do and kind of see some flexion of the wings, which is pretty nice, and then kind of feel like you're a passenger on the plane. So we're going to get our, not need a fuel supply, but I'm just going to end the supply of power because we're good to go on that.
Cape Town Ground Boeing Alpha Sierra X-Ray 787, I am done with power.
So we're all pretty much loaded up here. We got our catering, got our baggage, got the power. We got plenty of fuel for our trip. It's only a 4-hour flight. And we're going to be departing out of the north. So just wanted to get that centered. Being meticulous, I guess. So we're going to head out of the north direction.
Ground Boeing Alpha Sierra X-Ray 787, ready to taxi north departure with Oscar.
And then we'll make our way to Spain. Yeah.
Boeing Alpha Sierra.
Oh. Okay. I didn't hear what they said for taxi, so let's try to say again.
Cape Town Airport information, Papa 0. Cape Town Ground Boeing 787, say again, please.
Oh, we're going to have to release the parking brake here. There we go. So we don't forget that this time.
X-Ray 787, taxi to and hold short of runway 1 via taxiway Bravo. Contact tower on 118.1 when ready.
Well, that's pretty easy. Just taxiway B to runway 1. Very simple. Couldn't be any easier than that. Not like the last
Taxi to and
flight
hold short runway 1 using taxiway Bravo, Boeing 787.
where we had to use like about 10 taxi numbers to get to the like runway. So we're going to disconnect the jetway here. Now that our passengers are all loaded on, and we can get our pushback here shortly and make our way to the runway so we can take off.
Cape Town ground Boeing Alpha Sierra X-ray 787 requesting pushback. Boeing Alpha Sierra X-ray 787 pushback request accepted.
A little nicer angle of the plane here. So we're getting our pushback, and now that we took off the parking brake, it'll work a little better than the last flight we did. So starting off a little bit quicker and better than we did the first flight we did. So we're actually kind of getting pretty proficient with this as we do this.
Boeing Alpha Sierra X-ray 787 requesting pushback tug to steer the aircraft to the right.
And getting pretty good on the timing of the tug direction and stuff like that. So we're not going to end up all weird and goofy like last time. I'm just going to refer to the other flight like the whole video, pretty much. Yeah, just cause. And we'll stop. That should give us a nice straight angle.
Ground Boeing Alpha Sierra X-ray 787 requesting the end of pushback.
There we go. Really nice. We're off by a little bit. We're not perfect, but so I'm going to have to figure out how to start. I know we're going to need the APU to start. That's the de-ice for the windshield. I'm not quite sure how to start, or at least start the engines on this one. And it's pretty dark in here, so it's hard to see, but definitely need to make sure these fuel pumps are on. Oh, so that's off, and then that would be on. So now the pumps are on. So I was thinking when they're lighted up that they were on, but now they're on. And the crossfeed's on. And then turn on the right center one and the left center. So we have all of our fuel pumps ready to go for it. Put the APU on and start. But I'm pretty sure I have to, start the engines with the starters. So I'm not sure where they would be at. It's a little bit different setup than the 747. And we're not able to turn on the exterior power. It's not available. So, which wasn't available in the 747. So I did notice there was a comment about that you needed to turn exterior power on, but it's only if you can, and it doesn't allow us to do it on this so far. Maybe that's when you start up the engines, but not really have to worry about that in the game. Probably in real life, obviously, it's going to be a little different, and you need to turn on the exterior power for the plane in real life, but a little bit differences in the flight simulator game as it goes. And I'm really having a hard time finding where exactly the engines are. It's very dark, and it's hard to read a lot of this with the angle I have. And I don't know why I'm flicking that. That's not going to do anything. Just messing with buttons until I figure, okay, this is a better angle, and I can actually see better. And there's probably somewhere in here there's got to be engines. Oh, there it is. It's right in front of my face. So you can start the engine right and left right there. Okay, now we can hit start for the APU. Now it's actually going to spin up the fans. All right, cool. So we figured it out, guys. I wasn't really sure. I just thought I'm just going to figure it out. Because how much harder could it be from the 747? Apparently pretty hard because it was right in front of my face. So here's the fan spinning up. Sound seems to be working pretty well on this video, so hopefully it doesn't mess with us like last time. And I'm just going to turn on the anti-ice in case we run into a storm, because Hurricane Laura, tropical storm and stuff, has been around. We're going to start the engines and get them running. And now you can actually hear them spooling up here and climbing, rotating. And it seems like the sound is getting a little messed up here. Hopefully it'll work with us. Getting a little bit of horrible flickering of the sound right now. So the engines are charging up. We can start making our way taxied to the runway here pretty soon. Alright, we're going. And the sound is pretty messed up right now, so I'm just going to cut that out. Alright, so I got the sound cut out there because it was just making a horrible noise, and that's going to get really annoying, especially if you have headphones on. So, once again, sound messed up on the, I don't know if it's the internet connection. I'll just have to figure out what the problem is with that, because that's really frustrating, and it just seems to happen every time I start up the engine, so that must be the reason. But it seems to work once I'm pretty much flying and all that at a certain point. So hopefully it'll start working here pretty soon. We're kind of booking it down the taxiway a little bit here. We got some good momentum going. Maybe gave it a little bit too much engines here. So we're just booking it down this taxiway. We're probably going to go a little wide with this turn, even though I'm hitting the brakes. It's not really slowing it down much. So we're just going to go into the dirt a little bit. And just a little bit off of the taxiway. Not so bad. Just going to dodge those little lights there and not knock them over. Just because we're that good. And then we'll make our way to the runway here and get straightened out. And I've got to work on my turning because this is just terrible. It's like I'm inching forward and everything. It doesn't help that I have them, like, the engine's up too high percentage wise, and so I have to use the brakes, and so then it's like stop and go, stop and go, stop and go. So we'll get that smoother eventually, I guess. So, like, let's at least get on the runway here so we can take off. Alright, we're going to stop, and then we're going to turn off the throttle here. And we can take off, or at least get clearance to take off, which we should have done before we got on the runway in the first place. And then we'll adjust our heading here, which looks like our heading's going to be about, what, 10, I guess? Because we're heading north. So like 360 to 10 would be about north. So we'll just have to go this direction because it'll be faster. Yeah, we'll go to about 11 degree or 10 degree heading, I guess. And then we're going to acknowledge our takeoff clearance. Yes, we did copy.
If you guys liked the video, definitely leave a like, definitely subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell and get notified when my videos are at midnight every day. See you guys in the next video.